So for the 2022 model year, Harley Davidson put out 25 bikes that they did absolutely nothing to. Yeah, some of them got some color changes. That's easy. That's super easy. A few of them got some different wheel options. Also, still pretty easy. But think about this. They're also producing over 25 models in one single model year. Now, the Lowrider S got some changes. Then they introduced the 3 ST models, the Lowrider ST, the Street Glide ST, and the Road Glide ST. And yeah, I could see the argument for, well, those models are really just plays off of existing models that they've just changed some stuff around on. True, but they listened to their customers by going to the different bike shows, seeing what people were doing with their bike, and then offering it to you straight from the manufacturer. So we have 29 models for 2022, and that's just what we know of right now. We know we'll get an Icon bike. They mentioned they may possibly do 2 in a model year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they don't surprise us with some mid-year model bike. Could be completely new, completely redesigned, maybe a play off of another bike, but I feel like we'll see at least another model released in the mid-year. Also, one really important detail to keep in mind is that in 2021, Harley Davidson launched 2 completely new models, way out of their wheelhouse, that had brand new engines. The Pan America being so far out of the wheelhouse of anything Harley's ever done, but not only that, they did it well, to the point where a lot of major publications, including Cycle World, named it Adventure Bike of the Year. So they stepped into a new arena with competitors who have been building adventure bikes for years and beat them with their very first version. When does that happen in anything, in any type of automotive world? Very rarely. And when it does, those companies get recognized, and rightfully so. So if it's not quite yet obvious where I'm going with this, this is addressing all those people that say, wow, all they did was new colors. Wow, no changes this year. Wow, same bike as last year, not impressed. Now, one of the big things that I saw is people being disappointed that that Revolution Max engine was not offered on touring bikes. For one, I was very surprised how many people were going to be accepting of that change. I, for one, am a big fan of that. I also want to see that happen. I was just taken back by how many other people were open to it. But I saw numerous comments where I'm not interested in buying a bike until that Revolution Max engine is on, name the touring bike, Road Glide, Street Glide, Limited, Road King, what have you. Now, one big thing I feel like those people are failing to realize, that engine just came out last year. Although I'm sure that engine has been in testing for years. I think Harley's focus was on the 2 models they planned to put it on. And that was proven again with the Pan America winning Bike of the Year. I've ridden it myself. It's absolutely amazing. I've ridden other adventure bikes. I'm unbiased. Most of you know that. The Harley Pan America is good. It's really good. Do I think that bike would have been as good if they had split their focus and said, hey, how do we put this on every bike we offer, or just the touring line? Because here's one thing you guys need to realize is that engine doesn't just go in that frame. It's not a turnkey process. And the frame is just one part of the much bigger puzzle that myself and most of the people leaving those comments aren't smart enough to figure out how to make it work. Now, if you really want it that bad, how about you do it yourself? Just hearing that statement should put into perspective how challenging that would actually be. So get this one. I heard a guy say, hey, I want the Revolution Max engine and I want it in an FXR frame. Now that sounds pretty ridiculous. But here's the thing, he's doing it. The guy's name is Sean Jackson. I highly encourage you to follow this build on Instagram, because not only is what he's doing extremely complicated, extremely time consuming, and extremely expensive, it's also stepping up and making the bike he wants. A lot of you are looking for the manufacturer to give you the exact bike you want. I see it all the time. I shouldn't have to buy a bike and then put money into it. If you're a bike person, if you're a car person, show me one time where you've been able to buy a car, buy a bike, and not touch a single thing on it. It doesn't happen. We're always going to change the exhaust. We're going to change the brakes. We're going to set up the handlebars. We're going to change the pegs. We're going to do things to fit us. You go buy one of those new Dodge Demons or one of those crazy cars, a lot of dudes still throwing different exhaust on them, still messing with them. That's part of the fun, in my opinion. But again, point being, when do you ever buy something that's absolutely perfect out of the box with no changes and not have to pay a ridiculous amount of money for it? But people aren't going to do what Sean did for all the same reasons that I pointed out. It's expensive, it's time consuming, and most of them don't know how to do it. Harley has to pay people to figure this out. Research and development cost an insane amount of money. If Harley Davidson redesigned every single model, like we said, we're at 29 models right now. If they made major changes to those bikes every single year, this is just a wild number, and I feel like it's under what it would be. A new Harley Davidson would probably cost you $150,000 maybe, because of all the time and energy that goes into R&D. Someone has to design these parts. Someone has to make these parts fit. Then they have to produce these parts. That stuff is expensive. So let's take the Pan America, for example. Think of all the money it took to design a brand new bike from the ground up. Engine, everything. There's literally nothing on that bike that looks like any of these motorcycles behind me. The controls are all different. Suspension is way different. Everything is unique on that bike. They're going to have to sell it in the current form it is, and they may do minor tweaks here and there. But to recoup their initial investment, they're going to have to sell that bike for a few years, and then they start to turn a profit. Apparently, some people don't realize how that works. Another big thing that made me kind of question some of these comments were, how many people are really buying a brand new bike every single year? Again, I have not the slightest clue what number that would be, but I feel like a conservative number. I mean, I've worked in dealerships. I'm still in the dealership all the time. 5% maybe are getting a new bike every single year. So if you're not one of those 5% buying a new bike every single year, why do you care? Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I really enjoy reading these comments, and I cannot wait to see how this goes. Give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, make it honest, and hey, if you're one of those people that thinks Harley Davidson should have made a change every year, step up. This is your time. Make your case. If you've ever left a comment, and I thought about doing it, but I'm not going to be that mean, I thought about going back through the comments and posting some up on the screen as I'm ranting. People that say, wow, big deal, new colors. Defend your position, guys. Let's hear it. Let's see it in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next video.